and recording.
Alright, this is an instructional video to show you how to make a 4-strand round braided bracelet. This is the finished product. You can see that it's round. You'll need several materials to do this bracelet. You need a pair of scissors, some super glue, a lighter, and 2 3-foot strands of paracord. Make sure that they're even. I've already burned off the ends so that they don't fray out. The first thing is to make sure that they're even on both sides. Make sure that when you do this, that you get them even so that your center, so that one string is not too much longer than the next string. The first thing that you need to do is to cross your strings over from one side to the other. You close them like this. Then, before you start making the braid, you need to pull up the middle string till it is about a ½ an inch. You take and you twist the string like this from one side to the other, making sure that you have your 1 inch or your ½ an inch loop. So when you finish the bracelet, you'll be able to put your end through the loop. You want to make sure the loop is not too big, or when you tie it off, the string will fall out of the loop. First step is you take your green cord and you cross it over like this, and then you take your pink cord and you pull it out like this, and you cross it over. Make sure that you straighten out each of your cords so that you don't get them twisted. And then you go back and forth. You just twist them. And to keep it round instead of flat, you need to pull it each time that you twist it. And then you turn it by pulling out your strings. And then you twist it again, pull out your strings to make sure that you got it right. And each time that you do this, you turn the string where you can see where the turn is at. The good thing about making a 4-strand round braid is that before that you get done, if you mess up, it's easily taken apart and put back together. You see how it's turning here? In this area, you need to take and pull it back before you do your next braid. So you turn it again this way. You go left to right when you're turning it. That way it keeps everything straight and you don't get too many twists. And then you just pull it. If you want, you can use a clipboard to hold your braid down. That way you can work with it easier. The only problem with doing that is when you go to twist and turn it, it will get bunched up and then you'll have to undo it and redo it, which is very time consuming. You can also use other materials besides paracord to make bracelets, such as you can use shoelaces, you can use macrame cording, large yarn, any kind of string that's kind of thick and will give you a stable base to work with. You can use by making paracord bracelets. The 4-strand round braid is the most simple bracelet to make. Remember, you have to keep stretching the bracelet back in order to keep it from crimping. Okay, I messed up here a little bit. See, I didn't have it twisted right. So you just go back, move your cords back out, and then start over. As you see, it comes back out straight. You got to remember each time you do this to twist it so that you don't get the crinkles in it again. In order to know how long you want your bracelet, you might ought to make cut extra cording just in case, because you never know. You know, some people have small wrists, some people have larger wrists. So, you know, I always cut extra cording in order to make sure that I got plenty enough when I go to tie it off at the end, that I've not made it too long, or I've not made it too short. The further along you go, if you mess up, you just push and pull until it straightens it out. Now, one of the things I want to caution parents about is if your children are making these bracelets, because there's need to use a pair of scissors, a lighter, and glue, parents need to supervise their children, you know, while they're making, during the use of these materials, so that the children doesn't get hurt. Alright, I'm going to show you the simple way to tie this off to make sure. But before you cut it off, after you tie it up, you want to make sure you leave the rest of your string and put it through the loop. Make sure that it's going to fit and it doesn't come apart. Okay, we're going to use a simple square knot tie. This is easy to do. You just take and you cross over one of the cords, like so. Pull them up where you can see what you're doing. Then you take one of your other cords, you put it over and through to the left. You got to make sure you put it to the left, because if you don't, it won't pull tight and it'll just come apart. And then for your left cord, you pull it over and through to your right. And you've got to make sure that it goes the same way, or it won't tie off. It'll come apart as well. And then you just take and you pull them tight, each of your cords, to make sure that they're tight. As you can see, I didn't quite get my other pink cord over like it should be. So you just undo it. You go back around, push your cords out to the side, and once again, you curl it over. You take your right cord, you move your left cord over this way, and you put it to the left of your left cord. pull this through, making sure that your right side is not closed. Then you take your left cord, you put it over and through your green cord. And this allows you to tighten them up, giving you the square knot. You may need to make a second square knot to make it big enough to go through your loop. So you take all of your cords together, put them together, and you put them through the loop to make sure that they'll fit. And as you can see, this fits. You may I'll have to make a second square knot in order to make sure there's enough length to fit. Then you undo this, undo that. Again, you might tighten your knot a little bit tighter, and you take your scissors, you clip the ends off, not completely up to the knot. You want to leave a little bit of room when you use the lighter to mash the ends down so that they won't go through the bottom of your knot. You just take a lighter and let that cool for a moment or two. Don't touch it because it will burn. You give it a moment or two and let it cool down. And then you take your super glue as an added extra measure of safety to keep it from coming apart. And you just dab a little glue here or there and let it dry before you try it back on. Because if you don't, the glue will stick to you and pull your skin. This is how you make a 4-strand paracord bracelet. Thank you.